Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
Denied. A judge says no to Charles Pugh's request for a lower bond in his effort to get out of jail as he awaits trial. Plus, we're learning more about the deadly shooting that ended in a chaotic scene along the M1 construction area in Midtown this morning. And a former MSU basketball star is arrested yet again in less than 6 months. That story does top our news at noon. Thank you for joining us. I'm Evrod Kasumi. He was arrested in May and then in June, and now there's new trouble for Pershing High School legend Keith Appling. This time, police say that he drove away from them during a traffic stop near State Fair and Orleans in Detroit. And officers say that Appling apparently tossed a bag out of his car window. Local 4's Steve Garagiola is joining us live now with his developing story. Steve?
Well, Keith Appling has had nothing but trouble lately. As you touched on, he already has 2 trials coming up on gun-related charges. One of those is a felony, and now he is arrested for a 3rd time, another gun incident. This one happened last night, and he will be back in court. The glory days at Michigan State, just a distant memory. Last night, Keith Appling pulled over again on a traffic stop. The officer reported a strong smell of marijuana and asked for a driver's license. When he reached into the car, Appling rolled up the window and drove off. The officer pulled his hand free. A pursuit followed. Appling was pulled over again and arrested. The officer said he noticed a bag in the back seat that had been there was now gone. Police retraced the path of the chase and found the bag on the street containing paperwork with Appling's name and a blue steel semi-automatic Beretta with 10 live rounds inside. Appling's calendar is filling up fast. He has 2 upcoming trials on gun charges. He was arrested on June 18th following a traffic stop. Police say he was carrying a concealed weapon in his vehicle. That was a felony charge. He was also arrested back in May in the parking lot of a Dearborn club. Police arrested him then for possession of a loaded firearm in his vehicle and possession of marijuana. At one time, Keith Appling had a promising career in basketball. He was a star at Michigan State, and last year played a handful of games for the NBA's Orlando Magic. But that is long gone. Yeah, those glory days long gone for Keith Appling. The charges not yet clear in this incident, but it will be a gun charge involved and a fleeing and eluding police, so this could very well be another felony for Appling. So his time on the court probably is over, but his time in court, well, there'll be a lot of that coming up in the next few months. Back to you, Evrod.
Yeah, there certainly will be. Steve, as far as Appling is concerned, is he still in custody right now?
Yeah, we don't have information if he was arraigned yet this morning. Well, we'll find that out. Likely that will be this afternoon, arraigned on these charges. And pre-trial conferences on the other 2 were postponed until the first week of September. So a lot of time in court coming up, and when those trials begin, that's still not known.
All righty, a story that we'll continue to follow. Steve Garagiola reporting live for us this afternoon. Steve, thank you. One person is dead after a very chaotic scene in Midtown Detroit this morning. One person was shot and was apparently trying to drive themselves to Detroit Receiving Hospital with a pregnant female passenger in the passenger seat. When something else went wrong, our Nick Monticelli has the very latest along Woodward Avenue.
Well, good afternoon. You can see the car is still actually here, and members of the Detroit Fatal Squad, who are also working on accident reconstruction, are trying to put more of the puzzle pieces together. But unfortunately, as of right now, there are still more questions than answers. The video at the scene tells about as much of the story as investigators know. Early this morning, around 1:30 a.m., the 25-year-old driver of this Hyundai Sonata was shot. What we don't know yet is if the gunshot killed him or the accident that followed. Police believe he was attempting to drive himself to Detroit Receiving Hospital when he hit a dirt mound and ended up crashing into this bulldozer, causing most of the damage you see. That driver was taken to Receiving Hospital, but he was already dead. There was someone else in that car, though, a 26-year-old female who was 6.5 months pregnant. She was also taken to the hospital and is expected to be just fine. Detectives don't know much about the suspect yet, but sources say this appears to be a drive-by shooting, as the victims were driving on Woodward when the driver was shot. Now back out here, one more problem detectives have is they're not exactly sure where the shooting took place here on Woodward. So if you saw anything strange around 1:30 this morning, please call the Detroit Police Department or Crime Stoppers at 1-800-SPEAK-UP, and you can stay anonymous. We're here in Midtown. Nick Monticelli, Local 4.
A judge has denied former Detroit City Council President Charles Pugh's request for a lower bond. Pugh was trying to get his bond lowered to $50,000, and his lawyer was arguing that Pugh's current bond of $150,000 is just too excessive and that her client is not a flight risk. But the judge disagreed, citing the seriousness of the charges and saying he's concerned that Pugh would reappear in court if released. Detroit police continue to search for a man involved in a hit-and-run injury crash in northwest Detroit. This happened Sunday afternoon on 7 Mile and Rutherford on west of Greenfield. Two vehicles crashed into each other. A 49-year-old grandmother with her two grandchildren in her car was hurt and is now in critical condition. The children thankfully were not hurt. Witnesses helped the driver get out of his car, but then he ran off and has not been found just yet. The cause of the crash is still being investigated. And things are finally returning back to normal at Los Angeles LAX airport after reports of shots fired led to evacuations there. The chaos happened in the overnight hours. Nervous passengers are seen running while Los Angeles police officers swarmed the airport searching for an active shooter. Also at the airport at the time was NBC Nightly News host Lester Holt, who had arrived in time to witness all the chaos.
Just gotten out of the vehicle on the tarmac. We're about to walk up the stairs when the door opened. People began flooding out. There were people who claimed that they had heard pops or shots. Other people, like us, heard nothing but run and saw the crowds and reacted in the appropriate manner as you would in a situation like that.
Well, after an extensive search, LAPD says that the reports of shootings were actually the result of a loud noise and that no shots were actually fired. So an investigation is continuing. Well, it is Monday, so a lot of people not too happy about that, Brandon. Some kids heading back to school, but the good news is not so muggy.
It is not, no, and we are seeing slightly cooler temperatures today with less humidity, but still warm enough. Still a very nice end of August type day. 78 degrees right now, our official number at Metro Airport. Ann Arbor's right there. You see 78 in Monroe, but places like City Airport and Mount Clemens at 76, Sandusky and Lapeer at 76. And so we have some cooler breezes coming off of the big lakes from the northeast. In general, though, temperatures all around Metro Detroit, all of our zones are seeing temperatures about 5 degrees cooler than this time yesterday. We'll take it. 78 now, on our way to 81 degrees at 2 o'clock. Lower humidity, feeling good. 84 degrees the afternoon high with slightly cooler numbers on the east side. We're starting to see some activity building up out to the west. A couple of cold fronts that are going to make a big change in your 7-day, and we'll have that coming up. But in the meantime, we mentioned the zones. Where is your zone? You can find it on the weather tab of clickondetroit.com, exactly where you live and what the weather will be in your neighborhood. Again, 4-zone weather, the weather tab of clickondetroit.com.
Alrighty, Brandon, thank you. A decision 2016 now, the pastor of a church here in Detroit has extended an invitation to both major party presidential candidates to sit down for interviews. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump has accepted the invitation of Bishop Wayne T. Jackson, the president and CEO of Impact Network. Bishop Jackson is going to interview Trump this coming Saturday before the congregation at Great Faith Ministries here in Detroit. Bishop Jackson has not yet received a response from the Hillary Clinton campaign. Well, some good news for drivers in western Wayne County. The northbound lanes of I-275 from M14 to 696 are going to be reopening by Labor Day. But there is a catch, though. That section of freeway is going to shut down in early July for replacement of concrete, ramps, and other elements of the roadway. MDOT says the freeway will reopen by Labor Day, but the connector ramps for the interchange of 275, 696, M5, and 96 are going to remain closed until mid-September. But I know that a lot of people who use that area are just glad to see it finally reopening. A state funeral is going to take place tomorrow for many of the 229 people who died in last week's powerful earthquake in central Italy. Italian firefighters have released new video showing the destruction caused by that earthquake last Wednesday. Italy's government says it's working to provide more comfortable short-term housing for the nearly 3,000 people whose homes were destroyed in that earthquake. Well, there must be a holiday weekend coming up, right? We're going to tell you how much gas prices have jumped here in Michigan. That's coming up. Plus, they're calling it a fitness tracker for a city. Find out where these information gathering boxes are being installed right here in the Midwest. And the drug maker who hiked the price of EpiPens is taking action to make these life-saving devices more affordable. Plus, all new during First at 4, searching for victims. Former cancer doctor Farid Fata is behind bars for pumping poisonous chemotherapy drugs into healthy people. We'll tell you why there's a new push to find those impacted by his crimes. After last week's controversy revolving around the price of EpiPens, drug maker Mylan is going to start selling the life-saving allergy treatment at a discounted price. The company announced today that in the coming weeks, they're going to start selling a generic version of the EpiPen for $300. Previously, brand name EpiPens were going for about $600 per pack. And while the lower priced pens are generic versions, Mylan says the new pens will be identical to the branded product in functionality and content. Well, we have a Help Me Hank consumer alert for you this afternoon, as Amazon is once again having one of its special sales days. Today only is Amazon Kitchen Deals Day. All day, Amazon is going to be offering discounted prices on a number of kitchen appliances, everything from countertops to cookware, kitchen tools, and more. Kitchen Day Deals is meant to offer all homemade chefs an opportunity to upgrade their workspace. So you definitely want to act now, as the deals end at midnight for cookware, and things are going for up to 60% off, so you have been warned. AAA Michigan says gas prices have increased by an average of 7 cents statewide since last Sunday, and the average price per gallon of gas has risen for the second straight week and now sits at $2.39 per gallon. The highest reported price in the state is in Ann Arbor, where gas is costing $2.46 per gallon. Michigan, as a state, currently sits 9th in the nation for the most expensive gas. Let's talk about the city of Chicago. It's installing a first-of-its-kind technology that is being called a Fitbit for big cities. These beehive-looking boxes are being installed all over the city in the coming weeks. And they might not look like much, but they're actually sensor boxes, which will keep track of air quality, noise levels, and traffic in the city. So they're definitely going to be put to the test. While the technology is still being developed, the goal is to open this data up to the public for people to use in their daily commutes. That could definitely be very useful. Up next here on Local 4 News at noon, dramatic cell phone video from an Ohio neighborhood where flooded waters turned streets into rivers. Quite the view there, Brandon.
Incredible stuff, and we know all too much about some flooding, which we've had the last few days. In the meantime, we've got sunshine, middle upper 70s to near 80 degrees right now. Later in the week, we won't see these numbers for high temperatures. A cool down coming in your 7-day coming up.
At home with a local Arab American family, what does their daily life look like? And is it really that much different than yours?
It's very similar, I feel. It's very similar to a lot of cultures.
Tonight at 11.
Welcome back, everyone. Severe storms down in Ohio has left the greater Cincinnati area devastated by the flooding. Take a look. One resident shot this video on his phone of what it looked like when the flash floods happened yesterday. You can see the fast-moving waters that are rising as the cars were completely submerged in just a matter of minutes. About 30 people were displaced from their homes by the flooding, and multiple schools even had to be closed. Thankfully, though, there were no reports of any injuries. But Brandon, man, we really feel for those people because we've seen our own fair share of flooding along the Lodge, along certain neighborhoods. I remember it was just a couple years ago when we had that Metro Detroit area flooding. It was
August 2014, and we saw something very similar to that. They saw 6 to 8 inches, according to radar estimates, over 2 to 3 hours. And if you know that Cincinnati area, all of the terrain sort of flows downhill toward the Ohio River, so you could see where that would collect and just gush down some of these streets. Amazing. All right, back here at home, we've gotten rid of some of the humidity. Of course, not humidity-free. 78 degrees, has a feels-like number of 80, but that's not too bad. Again, temperatures are about 4 or 5 degrees cooler than we were this time, noontime on Sunday. What about your 4-zone forecast? Metro temps looking like this: 85 in Troy, West Bloomfield 84 today, 84 Livonia, 86 in Dearborn, 83 degrees in Flat Rock, and Trenton at 84. Our south zone yesterday, tornado warnings, nothing confirmed, but still super ominous and drenching in parts of our Lenawee and Monroe County areas in the south zone. We're seeing temperatures again in the middle 80s, 85 Adrian and Tecumseh, 84 in Milan and Dundee, 83 degrees for you in Luna Pier and over in Monroe. West zone looks like this, 83 up in Flint, Fenton and Clarkston, Milford also right there, Brighton, Howell at 83, 84 in Canton and Ann Arbor. Our north zone, upper 70s to low 80s. We have northeast winds coming off of Lake Huron, and so we're only 81 for a high in Port Huron, 81 in Imlay City, Rochester Hills at 83, Ortonville at 82, and Lapeer a high today of 82 degrees. Anybody heading to the White Sox and Tigers game? We've got to turn it around here because it's just been this crazy roller coaster ride. We need to kind of get on that path up. And looks good for baseball tonight. 82 degrees as you're tailgating, 7:10 first pitch. Sun sets right after 8 o'clock, but 70s as you are out and about this evening. Looks really nice. Watching a couple of scenarios to our west. We've got a couple of cold fronts coming in. Also watching drenching rains continue to hammer parts of Florida here, the mid-Atlantic coast, the coastal Carolina here, seeing some heavier rains. Also down in Texas and Louisiana, where they don't want the rains due to flooding and Zika virus concerns, also something that gets amped up by all this rain. But we are focused on two different cold fronts that are coming at us. One could bring a couple of showers late tomorrow, but more likely early on your Wednesday. You can see here the model today doesn't show much activity at all. Everything is west of us still, and tomorrow we'll watch very closely because we could again late afternoon or evening see one or two showers. I think most of it comes late Tuesday and more likely early Wednesday. Secondary cold front sweeps in here, and look at those numbers. We're down into the upper 70s with scattered showers on Wednesday, and Thursday we're in the low 70s with a couple of isolated showers as that cooler air pools in here. Evrod, looking dry and comfortable for this coming Arts, Beats and Eats and holiday weekend.
On Friday. Brandon, thank you. So you can't blame some of the residents of Siberia if they looked to the skies this past weekend and thought that something terrible had happened. Oh, take a look at this. What would you think happened? Some saying that it looked like a mushroom cloud from a nuclear explosion. It was not. Some thought it even came from an explosion at a nearby coal mine. Again, it was not. In fact, Brandon, it was an anvil cumulonimbus cloud, a large thunderstorm cloud with a flat top. Have you ever seen anything like this? It's pretty cool. Yeah. Brandon says that he has seen it. Very interesting. All right, next at noon, Jimmy Fallon does his best impression of that swimmer who caused some trouble down at Rio de Janeiro. Do you have any idea who he is impersonating? That and more when we come right back.
There was a gun to my head.
Homeowners.
All right, so did you watch the VMAs last night? Well, there was a lot to remember from it. Great performances and everything, really. But there's no doubt Jimmy Fallon definitely had a great impersonation of Olympic swimmer Ryan Lochte. Look at this.
Who had the best video of the year? I can't tell you that. They're all so great and so talented, I could never choose. I couldn't tell you even if there was a gun to my head.
Ooh-wee.
Wow. Took the crowd a minute to figure that joke out, but just part of the Jimmy Fallon bit there as he kept the lying theme by Ryan Lochte going.
He even claimed that he directed the winning video. There's the Queen Bee herself coming up to accept an award. As ridiculous as it is, he had everyone in the audience laughing. Even Michael Phelps is laughing.
The prompter said that Fallon stole the show, but I think you would disagree.
You saw who stole the show.
Queen
Have a
Bee.
great day, everybody.